If you're thinking of buying a home and you haven't bought one recently in Georgia, stick around. You'll find out all that you need to know. Hi, this is Matthew Scher, sharing my experience with you again from Real Estate for Atlanta. Sooner or later, when you're out looking at properties, you're going to find one that you love and you want to make an offer on it. Now, I cannot speak for what other agents do, but I can tell you my process, and I'm sure most good agents are going to be similar. When one of my clients wants to make an offer, the first thing I do is enter what I call reconnaissance mode, or digging up dirt on the property. And the idea is I need to find out how much can we really get this property for. Is it something that we have to pay full list price for? Is it something that we likely have negotiating room on? Some of the factors that I'll look at are how long the house has been on the market, have there been any price reductions, any indication as to how motivated the seller is. I will try to call the listing agent and see what kind of insight I can get into the seller's motivation level and their hot buttons. Even if it's a multiple offer situation, it's good to know, does this seller want a quick closing, or do they want time to find the home that they need to move to that they haven't found yet? All these things are very important to know, and I kind of gather as much as I can, get copies of the seller's disclosure, which tells you about the history of the property, and analyze that. And then I advise you as far as what offer I would put together, and I present you with those findings. I present you with all the information I found about the property. We discuss it, and we come up with the terms of your offer. I then type that up on an official purchase and sale agreement, and I send it to you to sign. I take that signed document and I send it over to the listing agent. That's how we present the offer. We may get one of three responses. We can get an acceptance, or a rejection, not so great, or a counteroffer, which is sometimes common. That means we won't give you the house for this price, but this is what we will do. And we'll go back and forth as much as we need to until we have what's called a meeting of the minds, which means we have a contract with your signature and the seller's signature, both agreeing to terms. When that happens, the home is what we call under contract. And that means you have an exclusive lock on it. They can't sell it to anyone else at that point. As soon as we get a house under contract, there's a flurry of activity that happens. The first of which is I get an earnest money check from you. There's a whole separate video I'm going to make about earnest money checks specifically, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. I will also get a copy of the contract over to your lender and a closing attorney. The lender is going to get started on your loan, and they're going to ask you for additional documentation that they need from you to get that process underway. The closing attorney is going to start checking the property to make sure that there's clear title. It's their job to kind of see if there's any liens on the property, find out if the property taxes have been paid, get a loan payoff for the existing owner, all that kind of stuff. So they're going to get started on that. You and I are going to book a home inspection, and I'm sure we'll discover some stuff about the house, that some repairs that need to be done. Usually we can negotiate those, and hopefully we get past that and move past what's called the due diligence period. I also will be doing a separate video on due diligence specifically, so don't miss that one. And then after that, we do have a little bit of a lull usually. There's like all this stuff that happens in the beginning, and then it's hurry up and wait. Eventually, the lender will come back. They may ask for some additional documents later, and ultimately, we hope that they get a clear to close on your loan. At that point, we're just about ready to close. You'll have more precise numbers of how much money you have to bring to closing in cash, and you don't bring a briefcase of cash. And what you do is you wire transfer that money to a special bank account that is typically owned by the closing attorney's office. And we show up and we sit at a conference table and sign a stack of documents that kills about 25 trees, and hopefully they'll make that digital one day. But you sign all those papers and you typically get the keys, and the house is yours right there and then. Now, you don't have to memorize all this terminology and all these steps if it's overwhelming for you. If you're working with a good agent like myself, your agent will walk you through every step of the way. But it is good to set out with a good overview of the process so that it's not totally foreign to you and you kind of know a little bit about what's coming next. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you continue to get your fair share with Matthew Share. Also, share it with your friends and comment below. Let me know what topics you'd like me to do future videos of. I'm always looking for ideas. Finally, if you're a home buyer or a seller and you'd like a copy of one of my home buyer or seller guidebooks, just use the link below and I'll be glad to send you one completely free of charge.